Hey, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be introducing you to our friend Tanner Chidester. We're actually doing a cool project with him, and he has an amazing story. If you guys have heard our story, he's got an awesome story. So I really want you guys to hear his story. It's very motivating and very inspiring, okay? So I'm going to introduce you to the one and only Tanner Chidester.
What's up, guys? Tanner Chidester here, CEO of Elite CEOs, 8-figure company. We did $15 million last year. And today I just wanted to tell my story of how I got into fitness, the habits I have, the companies I started, and just give overall story, around personal training and fitness in general, because I think there's a lot of good to be had and you guys can learn a lot from my story. So very simply, when I started, I grew up in a family of 7 kids, a very conservative household. My dad was a teacher, and I had 2 older sisters, and I did a lot of dress up with them. They convinced me it was a good idea. So as I was going through school, I got made fun of a lot. I was a little timid, a little shy, kind of weird. And when I turned 12 and I realized people were making fun of me, it really made me want to get into the gym so I could, beat them up. And so as a 12-year-old kid, what I started doing is before school, I would actually go to the gym, and my mom would drop me off before she took my sisters to Bible study, and then I'd work out for about 2 hours or so, and then I'd go to school where I'd have first period, which was fortunately gym, and then I would shower. So that's how I got into it. And as I started working out, especially at a young age, I was one of the only kids to do so. I started getting a lot of compliments, and people started say nice things to me, and the girls were nicer to me, and the guys didn't mess with me anymore. And so I started really seeing that, I put in hard work, I get a result. And so that was like super cool for me to see. And after that, I started putting it into, sports and football and all these other types of things. And I started having more and more success. And the way I work on my companies now is how I approach fitness and football. And my goal was to play in the NFL. I was able to go all the way to the Division I level, and I got to play for a brief period of time, but I kept getting hurt. I've had about 12 surgeries. I want to say 8 of them are football related. I've had shoulders, labrums, ankle, you name it, I've probably had it. And so when I quit, or I couldn't play anymore, I should say is probably a better word, I was very depressed because that was my identity for a long time. And so I started going to school solely for petroleum engineering. And I just realized after, a brief amount of time that just wasn't the route I wanted to go. That just wasn't the way I wanted to go. And so what ended up happening is I was convinced by a mentor named David Fry to, drop out of school and start working for him as an intern for free so he could start showing me, how to build a business and how email opt-ins worked and landing pages and things of that nature. And so that's what I did. And during that meantime, I modeled on the side. And so, if you type my name on Google, you'll see some interesting pictures where I did a lot of underwear modeling and stuff of that nature. And, looking back, I wish I hadn't done it, but it was, a way for me to get paid, and I stayed in really good shape. And I started building my first fitness company. It was, online personal training company. And initially, I was 22 at the time when I started. I didn't have a lot of success at all. I was trying to sell a $47 product called the Rapid Muscle System. And it was not working at all. But during that time, I was learning a lot of stuff. And then around 23, I left, working with that mentor to go kind of live on my own and just pursue my life a little bit. But I kept struggling. So I worked as a server part-time, and then the rest of the time I was working on my business, but I just wasn't seeing a lot of progress. And so another year goes by, now I'm 24, and I decided to go do door-to-door sales. And this was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, and I'll say it to this day that door-to-door sales is extremely difficult. One of the hardest things I've ever done, actually harder than building an 8-figure fitness company. And I went and did that in Alabama, but I was learning all these skills. And so when I look back from 22 to 25, I had all these skills I'd built up, right? I had all these skills that I had acquired. But I still hadn't made a lot of money. So I turned 25 now, and I'm starting to feel pressure in my business. I'm not feeling as young as I used to be. People were saying, oh, you got all this time. And I still was not having success with my fitness business. But then I saw an ad, scrolled on Facebook, saw an ad, and it was like how to build your online fitness business. Maybe an ad that, similar to what you guys will see from me. And I clicked on it, And I paid $5,000. I put $3,000 on a credit card, $2,000 in my bank account, and it was all the money I had. And they told me about high ticket training, you know, high ticket online sales, and where you sell packages for $2,000, $3,000, and I couldn't believe people would buy it. I honestly didn't think that. But what ended up happening was amazing. Is that first week, they're just like, yeah, just DM people, get them on a call and close them. I was like, okay. And in that first week, I made $10,000. And keep in mind, to that point, I never made more than $3,000 in a whole month. And I made $10,000 in a week. And then from 25 to 28 years old, I did over $25 million in sales. And so the businesses I built through that time was that first year, 25 to 26, I did $1 million. And then 26 to 27, I did 10 million. And then 27 to 28, I did 15 million. And the cool thing was that I started off in fitness. I actually hated business coaches, but as I had more success, people asked me for help. So after the first year, I started helping trainers implement the systems I built for my 7-figure fitness business. And then I have more success, and now I help anyone, even outside of trainers. But obviously, a lot of my clients are trainers, and then we have the other 50% are not. And yeah, it was just super amazing. It's changed my life dramatically, and that's ultimately my story, kind of start to finish. And then I recently turned 29 a few weeks ago at the time of this video. And so those are the companies I've started, and that's ultimately my journey. And then in terms of like staying healthy and fit, it's funny because as I was really going through that stretch of growing my business, I got really out of shape. And even now, if you look at me compared to when I modeled and stuff, I'm not as lean as I used to be. But what I've really done to kind of keep my health in balance and to still be able to run my companies at a high level is right when I wake up, I go to the gym. You know, I'll wake up and I'll do cardio. You know, I'll wake up and I will meditate, I will read, and you know, I'm not perfect. Actually, I have my own struggles, but that really seems to help, and I really do enjoy that. So hopefully that makes sense, guys, and that gives you, you know, the full outline of my story, kind of how my company started, and you know, how I stay in shape. And something that I think we can all relate to who are into fitness is that, you know, the drive it takes to have a great body and to stay in shape and to stay healthy is the same type of drive it takes to create a successful business. So if you're watching this, just know you're already halfway there. Like, you already can work hard. It's just implementing the right strategies. So I hope this makes sense, guys. I appreciate you watching this video. You know, if you want to see more about me, you can go to eliteceos.com and just check out all our stuff. And then obviously, please go to my YouTube channel, subscribe so you can see more content. And ultimately, you know, I just was super happy and blessed to be able to share this video. And I hope it gave you guys some insight, maybe gave you some encouragement. And, you know, just know that anything is possible. You know, if someone can come from a family of 7 kids and very low financial status and can, you know, come to the other side where, you know, financial wealth, just know anything's possible. You know, if you can think it, you can achieve it. It just comes down to putting in that work and taking the same things you've learned in fitness and applying it to business. So hope this video helps, guys. Again, my name's Tanner Chidester. If you have questions, feel free to DM me. Check out my YouTube channel.